Hey BlackAcidLizard, making this video in response to your video called Where Do You Draw the Line?, where you ask in a variety of different ways the same question. You ask, what justifies, basically, what would it take for me to kill somebody at a minimum? What justifies me? What do I think is a justification for taking another person's life? Where do I draw the line for taking someone's life? What would get me to kill someone? Why would I kill someone? What is the lowest point where I would kill somebody? And you phrase it a few other ways as well. So you cover you phrased it in many different ways, but when you ask about justification, you're almost asking for a false answer, because people are very bad at predicting how they would behave in a hypothetical situation. People tend to people tend to be overly optimistic when it comes to their own people tend to view themselves as being more virtuous and more resilient to doing evil things than in fact they are. Psychological studies show that the Milgram studies, which, actually Fake Sagan talked a little bit about in some of his videos he did a little while ago, show us that it takes very little to get somebody to kill another person. All it really takes is for the consequence of not killing that person to be aversive. And it doesn't even have to be that aversive. In this particular experiment, which I'm not going to describe, but because Fake Sagan already described it pretty well, all it really took was a little bit of peer pressure. So, as a student of behavioral science, I'm not very optimistic about the reality of the situation and what it would really take for people to kill another person. The lowest point where I would kill somebody, I'd just have to be put in a situation where not killing that person would be aversive to me. Or less aversive than the consequence. It's very difficult for me to give you a straightforward, honest answer, because the bottom line is that most people, including myself, if there's no reason for me to kill somebody, if there's no negative consequence for me to refrain from killing somebody, then of course I won't kill somebody. Why would I? Why would I snuff out a life for no reason, right? There has to be a reason. And for most people, it would take a lot in terms of giving them a reward for doing it. A more interesting question might be, what is the minimum amount of money that somebody would have to pay you in order for you to assassinate somebody else? That would be an interesting question. Not to say that your question isn't interesting. I think your question is very interesting. So when you ask the lowest point, I think we have to imagine some scenarios here. We have to imagine a scenario where, first of all, there is very little inhibiting me from killing the other person. There's no way that I'm going to face the consequences of killing the person. I'm not going to have to expend a lot of energy. I'm not going to have to do a lot of planning. And furthermore, here's the key thing. The really key thing is that if I don't kill that person, I'm going to face some aversive consequence. You know, people that tell you that they wouldn't kill another person are bullshitting. All that it would take is give them Chinese water torture for a little while and tell them that it's not going to stop until they you know, push the button to kill another person, and it wouldn't take too long for them to push that button. Oh, I don't know. Am I evading your question? Am I not answering it? It's very hard for me to give a specific answer because there's so many different kinds of negative. There's so many different scenarios under which I would kill somebody. There's so many different possible aversive consequences that I would avoid, even if it meant killing another person, that it's difficult for me to enumerate them all. And that, coupled with the fact that people are very bad at predicting exactly what it would take, makes this, I think, an impossible question for me to answer. But I will tell you that I'm a pessimist when it comes to, and rightly so, you know, I mean, the experimental evidence is there for what the actual thresholds are for a person to think that they're killing another person. I mean, it's not really a hypothetical question. The evidence is in. It takes very little, very, very little for people to kill another person. What else can I say? I guess that's about it. I hope you don't think I was copping out. But thanks for the good question. See ya.